been like, we don't ever go hungry or anything like that. We get hungry, but we don't go hungry. Dogs never go hungry. But yeah, man, just gas for a V8. You know, those are the necessities: fuel, food, and just money to keep turning the little wheel, man. But I'm surprised at how, you know, you can really save a lot of money by budgeting correctly and not overspending on things that you want, and spending too much on food, eating out, you know what I mean? It's easy to spend a lot on food. Right?
I agree. So we got some snow up in those mountains.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, the Suburban is badass, man. Badass. And start working on the Grelminator. It'll be a work in progress. Yep, no, we'll take the dogs to the park. That's what I do every day, is take the dogs to the park, or several parks. Let them run around. See, you like that step, huh? Loki can get down on that little step. In the Jeep, he had a hard time. Well, no, I told my mom about the letter you sent my stepdad to my dad, and I guess he must have gotten that letter and flipped out or something, because he was telling her like something like, yeah, well, I've heard through grapevine or whatever that, you know, people are talking that I should be doing this, this, and this, but he basically said, I'm not your, you know, husband anymore, and I don't know what was said, but all I know is I didn't have anything to do with it. But I mean, she wasn't really that mad, but I just told her basically what, I mean, I don't even know what was said. I mean, what was said?
Yeah, well, I know what I wrote in the letter, and
what basically what
did I write in the letter?
What did you write? I mean,
I just called him out and I said, how long are you going to live for? You know, you got your ex-wife and your sons, and they're all in a time of crisis and need. And you know, one of your sons committed suicide because he didn't have enough money. I said, you know, I don't want to see that again with any of the other, you know, brothers. And
yeah,
about, you know, how Nathan and Steven are living at the house. And, you know, it's not just, you know, your ex-wife that's losing her house, it's your children losing their house. You know, I just kind of said, you know, what good is all your money if you don't use it for those that, you know, are close to you? And I felt good writing it. I wrote it. I was proud to write it. I let my wife read it. She read it. She said it was a good letter. It was clear. It was to the point.
Yeah, well, he probably, you know, he might have seen something in the letter that he didn't want to see. I don't know. Maybe he didn't give a shit. I don't know, but I don't think he really is obligated to take care of me or anything. I mean, he helped me with the Jeep for 6 years, and I mean, he loaned me some money to start a business. He's helped me before, so I mean, but sometimes he gets I don't know, he has his way of looking at things, and we have our way of looking at things, and he's on top and we're on the bottom, so
Let it go.
well, dude, I don't like being fucking yelled at and screamed at. You can only yell at me so long before I just go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You know? I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
Well, that's what she, you know, she was feeling at the moment. So it's just,
Dude, it's been moment the whole fucking morning.
But let her have her. You know, it's not you, it's her. Don't let it control you like that.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking just be yelled at by no fucking woman. I don't give a fuck, dude. No woman's gonna fucking yell at me.
Yeah, well, she's just, you know, she's just stressed out. You gotta have some understanding. And
So what are we gonna
she's
do
gotta
now?
have some understanding for you too. It's a balance, man. I don't know what to do now. She's gone, so.
We gotta take this stuff over to the unit. So let's go do that.
What do you think of all these material possessions in the world?
Too much. Pointless. Materials can be used for good, but they also can destroy people. I don't know, money and materials, if you base your life around them, then you're not happy. There's no way you could be happy, because there's too many materials in the world that if you're always on the search for them, they're always going to be coming, and you're always going to be searching. So I don't think that's happiness, you know. Being comfortable, I think, is the key, you know. You can have stuff, it's just not, you know, to make your life all about material possessions.
What do you think about your dad, what he's got?
He's got a whole lot, that's for sure. But he doesn't have some things too that are probably the most meaningful, you know, like family and community. He has his family of business workers. I feel like for my saying is just like, it's not about what you have necessarily in materials, it's about the respect you have, you know. And I think that's something that is important, you know, how people look at you and respect you and what you give back ultimately. You know,
do you think it's weird that your dad knows that Jason lives in his vehicle and he's cool with that?
Well, him and Jason have their own deal. You know, my dad's a very extremely hard person to work with, you know. I don't know if it's like, you know, there's a price you have to pay when you get help from him, I feel like, you know, and that's something that I think a lot of us, we'd rather just figure it out on our own than we shouldn't have to rely on him, first of all. It's our lives that we have control over. It's not necessarily his problem that we have problems, you know? I mean, he created his own life. It doesn't mean we can't do the same thing. So I think that's what he's ultimately trying to get at with us, you know, by not necessarily, he's helped me from time to time, but I feel like, you know, I'm my own man. I can't rely on my parents, you know, to give me everything. I have to go find it myself.
Do you think that your stepdad should help pay off this house and let your...
Oh, it's my real dad.
I'm sorry. Yeah, your real dad.
Yeah.
You don't think he should help?
Well, I mean, they divorced how many years ago?
Long time, 20.
20 years ago. So, I mean, you know, what my mom's done in the last 20 years, that's her decisions.
You don't think though that the divorce taking 10 years and
yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it, but once again, it all comes back down to material possessions, and I don't think those things are important, and there shouldn't have been a fight for 10 years over materials. There should have been, you know, a little bit more love and understanding involved, and looked at what was really important. The house and the materials weren't important, but that was where all the energy went into, and when the family had to suffer. Should have been the family is the most important.
That's part of the reason.
The house and everything else.
That's part of the reason we lost Seth too. It's because of all that fucking suffering.
Because all the suffering over materials. Exactly, like we were saying earlier.